What's going on, guys? This is Mars Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another commentary. Alright, so at this point, we've just defeated the Pinwheel, and we have earned the right of kindling. So, what we're going to do is go ahead and exit the catacombs. At this particular point, we've basically picked up everything that we need. We went on ahead and got the Tranquil Walk of Peace, a miracle that a lot of people dread, but we already discussed that in one of our previous vids. Let's see, what else? Now, we didn't cover it in this particular vid, but eventually we will go ahead and get the Grave Lord sword. I'm trying to decide as to whether I should try to experiment with the Grave Lord Covenant. Because, I mean, it seems kind of cool based upon my understanding of the Covenant. You kind of draw phantoms to yourself. But from the two experiences that I've had with it, you really have to wait a long time. Right? And I don't know why that is. And me, I don't really have that much patience, right? And I really don't want to just sit there for time, for minutes and minutes or hours on end looking for an invasion, right? Especially when I could just go ahead and use the when I can go ahead and use the red-eyed orb, or I can go to Dark Root, right? Or the Kiln. The action is a little more fast-paced there, so I don't know. We'll make a decision sometime soon. Alright. So we're on our way to Sin's Fortress. Well, actually, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these sorceries before we go. Now, here's a little secret. And actually, for some of you veterans, this may not be a secret to you, right? But there's a way to get 2 soul spears per playthrough. Now, to the extent that you are not familiar with what you should do, let me just try to quickly go over it. Alright, once you get to Sin's Fortress, if you plan to be a mage build, it's probably in your best interest to go ahead and free Big Hat Logan. Now, once he's freed, he'll return back to the first bonfire. He'll be standing to the rear of that student of the Dragon School, and to show you his gratitude, he'll go ahead and offer you sorceries. Now, because some of you guys are so excited to get some, higher level sorceries, you make the mistake of going ahead, hustling up souls, and buying up as many as you can. This is a mistake. If you want at least 2, well, actually not at least, if you want 2 of each, that is a big mistake. And let me tell you why. If you, speak to Big Hat Logan, but you do not purchase anything, eventually he will disappear and he will go into the archives. Once he leaves and he goes into the archives, he's going to hand all of his sorceries to the Dragon School student. Once the Dragon School student has them, you can buy them. Now, once you buy them, that would be 1 iteration of each. But remember, once you free Big Hat Logan the second time, in order for you to get his crystallization catalyst and some of the other things he has to offer, you have to buy all the sorceries from him. Right? So it's not that you need to have them in your possession. You need to buy them from him. So, to the extent that you do not purchase the soul spear from him the first time, you are able to purchase them from the Dragon School student. Once you're in Duke's archives and you speak to him, then you can buy the soul spear from him. So that will give you 8 soul spears per playthrough. And actually, I think that homing soul mass, I think that's the name of it, you can get 2 iterations of those too. Right? But if you're a vet, you probably already know that. If you're kind of new to the game and you like the intelligence build, you might want to pay attention to it. And actually what we're going to do, we're actually going to follow those steps, and I'll draw your attention to it as we go. Alright, so things to keep in mind with regard to Sin's Fortress. There's really nothing to it. You have to deal with the snakes, you have to deal with the cobra head, the one with the Flamberg, 6 of them, and you have to watch out for the contraptions. Now, these contraptions can knock you down, right? And a lot of times, depending upon how much health you have, they can knock you down and you actually die. Alright, so this is why you have to take your time if you're relatively new to the game and you're approaching Sin's Fortress. You really have to be careful. Alright, so as we discussed earlier, there's 2 ways, well actually there's 3 ways that you can acquire a Titanite slab. One of the ways is through killing the stray demon. This is the second way. You go ahead and talk to the high-speed NPC here. Alright. And there's a series of events that you have to not only talk to him, but also interact with him. There's certain interactions that must take place in order for him to, well actually he doesn't even do it. I think it's his daughter will award you a Titanite slab. So I'm not going to talk you through it now because we'll just go through the steps and you'll see for yourself. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and dash through. Tighten him up a little bit. Alright, now it's kind of like a zigzag trail. Now, I am not going to go in the lower portion because I do not need a lightning spear, an item that you would find. And you would also find some type of golden snake ring. And what that thing does is it boosts your drop rate for items. But I don't really need it. There's not really too many items that I need, that I really need that has to be dropped. Most of them I have already. But in the event that you are interested in those items, they're down below. Alright, now, turning this rotator arm is a requirement. You can't just talk to that NPC and then just go on about your day. When you rotate that rotator arm, you allow for him to escape. Once he escapes, you'll meet him in Anne Orlando. Right, and you'll notice that once we get to Anne Orlando. It should be in the next video. Alright, there's really nothing much here. Instead of going up the steps, if you would have proceeded to that path on the left, it would have been nothing but a snake head and a chest with a large Titanite. Alright, so on this particular part, you just want to sprint through, just like I did. Go through the fog gate, and we are at the elevated levels of Sin's Fortress. Now, I'm turning left to go toward the bonfire. Had you turned right and went down the stairwells, you would have encountered a few undead and some type of fire resistance ring. Now, that's not the name of it, but that's the function of it. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and kindle up the bonfire up to 10. Oh, maybe up to 15. And we're good to go. The first time I played this game, it took me forever to find that bonfire. Actually, I watched a few YouTube videos to figure it out. Because I was lost. That thing, I just couldn't find it. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and get a high-speed large soul of a brave warrior. That'll help in the event that we mule this character for another build. I don't really plan on it. I have pretty much all the builds that I want right now, but it doesn't hurt. I mean, best case scenario, we'll just have them and keep them in our inventory. Alright. Now, if you would have proceeded on, there would have been a ladder to the right. That ladder would have brought you down to a path that would have brought you up to enemy NPC, who would have awarded you the Rickard's Rapier. But I don't use the Rickard's Rapier, you know. Even though it's of the Rapier class, the critical stats are not that really attractive. So I'm not really concerned with the Rickard's Rapier. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and take this path down, and the reason why we need to do this is because we need to acquire a key that will allow us to free Big Hat Logan. So let's go ahead and tighten up the Cobra head. We will acquire the cage key, because in case you didn't know, Big Hat Logan is trapped in the cage. And we're going to go ahead and use the homeward bone to return. Because, I mean, do we really need to go up that spiral stairwell? No. Alright, so we're going to try an invasion. Hopefully we'll have a successful invasion. Because even though we like success, we often fail, right? But whether it's a win or a loss, it's all learning lessons. This is the way I look at it, right? There's many a times I lose, many a times I win. But, you know, during each playthrough, well, not each playthrough, each battle, I kind of try to figure out, okay, what did I do wrong? What could I have done different? You know, and I try to make changes based upon that. Now, if you guys notice, my cracked red-eyed orb at the bottom has dimmed, which means someone is attempting to invade me. Right, and this is why I usually keep either the homeward bone or the cracked red-eye orb in my bottom window. Because it's always a good indicator. Okay, here we go. Eloise 13. That cracked red-eyed orb is a good indicator as to, you know, when someone is attempting to invade. So I usually keep that in that bottom window. Alright. Should be coming up real soon. And actually what I intend to do, I'm going to assume that soon he's going to bend the corner and turn right. But he's kind of taking too long. So I don't know if he's kind of perusing the lower levels. I don't really know what he's doing. But we're going to have to go look for him if he doesn't hurry up and come our way. Okay, speak of the devil. Alright, so it looked like he's rocking the Balder set. Is that a... Okay, and he has a Balder sword. Now, we are hoping that he spams the R1, guys. As I discussed before, we did a video... Oh, okay, he's spamming the R1. This is perfect. If you guys are familiar with my parry video, we learned a little bit about how to parry these fast weapons. Now, we are not talking about the Falcon. Notice it. You guys notice that? I blocked with the shield, lowered my shield, allowed him to hit me, and I immediately parried. Let's kind of check that out a second time so you guys can see for yourself. Hit the shield, drop the shield, parry. Doing. And of course that was no surprise to the extent that you watched the Parry 102 video, because we went through that. Alright. So we're back at it. Alright, so at this point we're pretty much just trying to go ahead and go to the caged area to where we can free Big Hat Logan. And that's about it, basically. We don't really need to do too much after that. Alright, so let's just go ahead and now if you guys notice, there's a snake head down there. The wall that's supporting the snake head is the wall that we need to break through. And we'll do that through the boulders here. You know, the one that just rolled us over. Alright, let's go ahead and continue the route that we went to the first time we made our way through this fortress. Go ahead and tighten up the cobra head, give him some back action. That's why we use rapiers. We specialize in at critical attacks. Alright, and we're going to make our way up the stairs. Alright, let's go ahead and move the rotator arm. Now that the rotator arm is moved, we will make it damage the snake, so it'll make our fight a little easier. Alright. Hit it a couple times. You guys notice the numbers right there. That's receiving damage. And now we'll go down there and finish it off. Alright, tighten him up. Now we're on our way to free good old Big Hat Logan. I'll skip through the dialogue. Pretty sure you guys are familiar with it. And for good measure, we'll go ahead and get the soul of a hero. Why not? Now that we have used the homeward bone, we are back in action. Now, you guys are going to have to forgive that. I was kind of doing something right there. Alright, so now we're back in action. So at this point, we can actually attempt to defeat the boss. Right, but for good measure, why not try to have a high-speed invasion? Alright. You guys are familiar with this route. Alright, this is where we took that that transport cage down to the lower levels of Sin's fortress. And actually, instead of taking the homeward bone, we could have just went back to it and it would have brought us right back up here. But I took the homeward bone. Still didn't waste too much time. I'll make a second attempt for an invasion. And if you guys notice, I wasn't able to invade. Right, so I'm guessing that somebody tried to invade, but they were unsuccessful. And I kind of hate when that happens. But it is what it is. No game is perfect. Alright, we're going to go ahead and tighten this guy up. Get us a nice tight knot chunk. And we have an invader. Now this is probably the same invader that tried to invade us before. You know, the one that prevented us from using the cracked red-eyed orb. So let's see what he's got to offer. Now, good thing fortunately for us, we are in the upward position, so we can kind of look down below to kind of, you know, maybe find out what kind of armor, maybe we can scope out a weapon depending upon, you know, what he's looking like. So let's see. What does he have going on? Well, I can't really tell. Alright, but he'll probably make his way up here. Alright, speak of the devil. Have the good old dingy set on, right? But he's messing up the whole dingy set with that ridiculous Mask of the Father. Alright, so we have a mage build right here. So we kind of have to beware. Because sometimes those, wow. Did you guys see that lag? I obviously escaped that, but he caught me. Let's take another look at that, though, real close. If you guys notice, I see what he's doing, and I jump backwards. But then I do this kind of teleport forward, right? So, it is what it is. We're back at it. Alright, back to human form. Now, we can go ahead and go up the top of the fortress. You know, even though I don't complain about lag too much, I hate when it happens. Especially when I'm playing against someone who I think, I'm pretty confident that I have a shot against them. But sometimes you have to take the good with the bad, because we're dealing with communication lines that are not in our control, right? And there's a lot of things that go into internet connections, right? So, sometimes the lag benefits us, sometimes it, gets us at our detriment, but it is what it is. It's a game, right? This time it was me, next time it'll be somebody else. It's just how it is. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and summon the Iron Tarkus. See, can we make this boss fight a little easy? Alright, good old Iron Tarkus is summoned. Alright. Summoning failed. Well, looks like it's going to be me and good old Iron Tarkus by ourselves. Alright, so strategies for the Iron Golem. Pretty easy. I mean, when you first come in, as you just saw, he'll hit you with that high speed wind swipe attack. Alright, and other than that, basically all he does are these wide swipes. And one thing about me, I basically just stay between his legs. And once I see him either swipe or do that particular attack, I just roll out of the way. Right? Because if he catches you with that open hand attack, what he'll do is he'll grab you, and basically just slam the bananas out of you. And with the help of good old Iron Tarkus, he's gone. Alright guys, Martyr's Brigade is